Today, Channel 9 was there as President Donald Trump toured a remote migrant detention center in the Florida Everglades dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. It's just outside of Miami, surrounded by wetlands and alligators and crocodiles and pythons. And it's scheduled to open tomorrow. The president's visit was not without controversy, of course. Channel 9's Giovanni Diaz spoke with protesters outside the gates, but our team coverage begins with Jake Stofan, who says this is exactly what the president had in mind.
This facility is set to be up and running and fully operational, with the first detainees expected to arrive here on Wednesday. As soon as the president was up in the air, the final security sweep began.
President Donald Trump was in good spirits after touring what's been branded as Alligator Alcatraz, the new $450 million ICE detention facility built on a seldom-used airstrip in the heart of the Everglades. Officials say the facility is ready to house up to 3,000 immigrant detainees, with capacity for further expansions if needed. It took only 8 days to construct the facility, which will be staffed by a crew of 1,000, including 400 security guards.
Very soon, this facility will house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation.
Coming up later, I'll be giving you an update on future plans to develop another facility very similar to this one in Northeast Florida at Camp Blanding. Reporting in Ochapee, I'm Jake Stofan, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Again, protesters were outside the gates of the migrant detention center this morning.
Yeah, here is a look at some of those protesters there. Those protests happening before, during, and after the president's tour on site alongside the governor. Channel 9's Giovanni Diaz continues our team coverage with their message.
The visit of President Donald Trump here to the new detention facility in South Florida brought once again tons of protesters to the Everglades area. They say the measure is harmful to the environment and also a waste of taxpayer money.
Move, ICE, get out the way!
They showed up with signs and megaphones.
Get out the way, out of our Everglades!
What does your sign say there?
No ice in the Everglades and no prisons on stolen land.
Demonstrators from all over the state came down to South Florida on Tuesday to take a stand against the new detention facility for undocumented immigrants.
Well, I'm here to voice my disapproval of the Alligator Alcatraz. We don't want this. The people are out here. I drove 2 hours. You know, I live in Cape Coral.
Governor Ron DeSantis says the state will pay for the center now with funds from the Division of Emergency Management. But DHS is expected to reimburse the state. Opponents say that's a problem.
The American people are suffering, and they are funding policies that create more suffering for no reason at all. They're funding policies that not only target Spanish people broadly.
And while most of those who were here on Tuesday were against the facility, a few demonstrators also showed up in support of the initiative. This supporter of President Donald Trump agrees with the facility, but hopes it won't stay around here for too long.
They should go ahead and double down on whatever precautions, whatever actions, measures that they take to provide protection for the environment and the people out here, just to make sure there's nothing happens to the environment.
And despite the legal challenges and protests, Governor Ron DeSantis says the new facility is up and running. Reporting from the Everglades, I'm Giovanni Diaz, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Gio, thank you. We're learning more about how President Trump's big, beautiful bill passed in the Senate around noon today. While he was holding that roundtable, in fact, a reporter alerted the president, who said, good. He was proud that it passed. It includes more money for border security. 3 Republicans voting against the bill today. That forced Vice President J.D. Vance to break the tie with the final vote. One of the biggest concerns for those against this bill is what it would do possibly to Medicaid funding.